Welcome to the albums that saved us. I never stalked a band I didn't like. I've never been much of a celebrity stalker or groupie. I've met a few celebrities here and there, mostly by chance, and have been pretty much low-key about it. I bumped into Halle Berry outside of a hotel in New York City. Maybe I just never had the opportunity. She's very pretty and nice, by the way. Fandom's a largely thankless job. I've heard story after story of fans meeting famous musicians and being disappointed or even devastated. Obviously, we've got this version in our heads of what our idols are like. If we meet them and they're not like we think, it's disappointing. I think this is the number one reason I so rarely band stalked. I didn't want to be disappointed if that singer just wanted to go to sleep or that drummer just wanted to eat. I think they should consider that for the fan. It's probably a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and a little hassle is worth it for the lifestyle, but I'm not in their shoes. I don't know. One of my friends had an extra ticket to a fairly exclusive Duran Duran concert in Los Angeles and offered it to me. She asked me if I was down for some late-night band stalking. Of course I was. Duran Duran's always been one of my favorite bands since I was a teenager, and the show was unbelievable. But that's a different story. So at the end of the show comes the wait. I've heard about this before since high school. Basically, you wait outside the venue for the band to leave and hope for a photo or a signature, a glance. So out of a crowd of 1,300, there were about 8 of us that hung out in the freezing cold and rain waiting for someone to come out of the after party. There was another group as well that my group was sure to stay separate from. I called them the Autograph Hounds. These were 4 guys who all knew each other and were pros. They're the types that get things signed and then sell them on eBay. Don't personalize it. Some celebrities don't like them, and many fans don't either. These guys knew everyone coming out of the venue, and there were some VIPs and celebrities I didn't recognize. The first celebrity sighting of the evening was Samantha Ronson, best known as a celebrity DJ and close friend of Lindsay Lohan, Chainsmoker as well. She's also the sister of Mark Ronson, DJ, musician, and producer of the Duran Duran album All You Need Is Now, arguably their comeback album. He also sat in with the band at the show on a couple of tracks. I thought about talking to Samantha about meeting her brother, who I was much more interested in, but she was on the phone probably talking with Lindsay about this guy that was staring at her. I believe John Taylor, bass player for Duran Duran and fan favorite, was the first to leave the party. He's very tall and sticks out and is sober. Notice him walking across the street to his SUV and driver with the Autographed Hounds in tow. He was signing but definitely walking at the same time. I was a little late and missed my opportunity. He'd gotten into the car. I could have lunged in and been that guy, but chose not to. He obviously wanted to go. I said, "Great show, John." And he said, "Thanks, man." I should have yelled, "My daughter has Juicy Couture glasses," at his wife. She's one of the Juicy Couture ladies, by the way. Or, "I've been a fan since 1984. Or, "My daughter has Juicy Couture glasses and I've been a fan since 1984. Or something. Disheartened, I went back across the street. I had almost met a member of Duran Duran. I at least got to speak to him. Soon after, Moby came out. He was very nice to the Autograph Hounds and stopped and talked and signed. I ran up and stuck my hand out and told him I was a fan, which I'm really not, and that it was nice to meet him. He seemed surprised there wasn't more. We both kind of stood there and looked at each other for a moment and then smiled, and we both moved on. It's like he expected me to ask for something and I expected him to do something. We had a moment. Should we have hugged? Was he supposed to sign something? Was I supposed to say something interesting? I don't know. Hopefully he's still talking about it today as well. Next out the door and quickly was the rare and elusive Marilyn Manson. It would have been interesting to meet him, but he was too quick and bolted, chased by the Autographed Hounds that literally had to run to keep up with him. I should have yelled, "You have the best rock autobiography ever. So much fun." At this point, we moved our position, and for me, the coup of the night occurred. Mark Ronson came out of the door carrying his guitars. My friend asked if he would pose for a couple of pictures, and he said he would after he loaded his stuff. It was actually like, "Can I load my stuff first?" And we said yes. So he stopped and took a few pictures with me and signed my poster. He was very gracious and patient and dapper. I babbled, "Thank you for what you've done for Duran Duran," as he's truly helped revitalize their career. "And you're obviously a fan." He said he was and thanked me. Nice and humble dude. We could have waited longer and maybe gotten a Duran signature, but it was cold, late, and wet. I'd seen one of my favorite bands closer than ever before and closer than I'd probably ever see them again. I lucked out on a ticket, front of the line, front of the stage. I also got one of the signatures I was wanting in a meeting I was hoping for. I was happy. Now, perhaps if we'd waited just a little bit longer. Thanks for listening to the Albums That Saved Us, and thanks to Anchor for helping me get started. Visit my sponsors, and if you're inclined to donate to help the cause, maybe I'll buy a record or something. Find me at #AlbumsThatSavedUs. Email me at albumsthatsavedus@gmail.com with feedback, criticism, ideas, albums, or bands you want to talk about. Find me on Facebook at Albums That Saved Us Podcast, and there's a Facebook group as well. On Twitter at Albums That Saved, on Instagram, Albums That Saved Us, on TikTok even, Albums That Saved Us, on YouTube at Albums That Saved Us. Any album suggestions, bands you want to talk about, let me know. I don't know what's coming up next week because I haven't decided yet. If you like Albums That Saved Us, please help me spread the word. Share the links, tell some friends, tell your mom, call in and leave a comment or question. See the option in Anchor. We'll see you next time.